Heartbreak is a brutal artist. It uses your soul as its canvas, your tears as paint, and your pain as its brush. It sweeps through your life, dismantling everything you thought was permanent, leaving you standing in the ruins of what once felt like forever. It is the kind of beauty that is hard to see while you are standing in the storm. But when the clouds part, you realize that heartbreak is not the end. It is the sculptor's chisel, carving away what no longer serves you, revealing the masterpiece hidden beneath. It is the kind of beauty that demands a sacrifice, but offers rebirth in return. There is a raw elegance in the way heartbreak strips you down to your essence. It is a wildfire, burning away the facades, the comfort zones, the illusions. It forces you to confront yourself, to see who you are without the safety net of another's love. It is in these ashes that you find your truth, the parts of you that remain unshaken, the embers of your strength, still glowing amidst the charred remains. You learn that you are not defined by what you lost, but by what you choose to rebuild. The beauty of heartbreak lies in this rebirth, in the way it compels you to rise, not as who you were, but as who you were meant to be. Heartbreak is a mirror. It shows you the parts of yourself you have been avoiding, the wounds you have been covering with temporary loves and borrowed dreams. It forces you to look into the depths of your own vulnerability, to sit with the discomfort, to face the shadows. And in this reflection, you find beauty, not the soft, pastel kind, but a darker, richer beauty. The kind that comes from knowing your own darkness, from understanding that your scars are not flaws, but marks of survival. You become both the healer and the healed, a mosaic of broken pieces fused together with gold. There is poetry in the silence of heartbreak, in the quiet moments when the world feels still, and all you have is your own breathing to remind you that you are alive. It is in these moments that your soul whispers truths you were too busy to hear before. It tells you that you are enough, that your worth is not defined by another's acceptance, that your story is far from over. The beauty here is subtle, a soft glow in the dark, a promise that the dawn is coming. Heartbreak may shatter you, but it also gives you the chance to rebuild, to choose which pieces to keep and which to let go. Heartbreak is a teacher. It educates through pain, through the sting of betrayal, through the ache of loss. It does not offer lessons with gentle hands, but with the hard push of reality. It teaches you that love is not just about holding on, but also about knowing when to let go. It shows you the strength in surrender, the courage in walking away, the wisdom in solitude. There is beauty in this education, in the way it molds you into someone who loves with open eyes, who gives not out of need, but out of abundance, who understands that true love starts within. The beauty of heartbreak is not in the breaking, but in the rebuilding. It is in the way you gather your shattered pieces and craft something new. You become an architect of your own heart, choosing the design, setting the foundation, building walls that do not keep others out, but rather hold yourself together. You learn to be your own safe place, your own comfort, your own home. This is a beauty that cannot be given. It must be forged, earned through the flames of experience, and polished by the hands of time. Heartbreak is a liberation. It frees you from the chains of expectations, from the weight of trying to fit into someone else's story. It pulls you out of the dream and places you firmly in reality, a place where you have the power to write your own narrative. The beauty here is fierce. It is the realization that you do not need saving, that you are your own hero. You learn to fill your own cup, to find joy in your own company, to stand on your own 2 feet and love the ground you walk on. There is a beauty in the strength that heartbreak brings. It does not make you hard, but it makes you solid. It teaches you boundaries, not as walls, but as gates that only open for those who deserve to enter. You become discerning, not because you are afraid, but because you have learned the value of your energy. You love deeper, but with a clarity that only heartbreak can provide. You do not settle for half love, for almosts, for maybes. You demand truth, authenticity, and you offer the same in return. Heartbreak is a reclamation. It is the moment you take back your power, the point where you stop giving pieces of yourself to those who do not value them. You reclaim your time, your energy, your love. You become the main character of your story, no longer a supporting role in someone else's plot. The beauty in this is undeniable. The glow of self-love, the strength of self-respect, the peace that comes when you finally realize that you are whole on your own. Heartbreak is the wildfire of the soul. It sweeps through, uninvited and uncontrollable, reducing the old growth of your life to ash. It devours illusions, consumes false hopes, and leaves behind a landscape that feels barren and cold. But just as nature knows the necessity of destruction, heartbreak has a purpose. Beneath the smoldering remains lies the promise of renewal. The dead wood, the stagnant habits, the toxic attachments, the naive expectations, burns away, clearing the way for fresh, untainted growth. The beauty of heartbreak is not in the flames, but in what emerges after. When the smoke clears and the first green shoots of self-discovery break through the soil. When the fire first takes hold, survival instincts kick in. You try to salvage what you can, clutching at the remnants of what was, but the heat is too intense. The relationship, the dream, the future you envisioned, all of it crumbles to ash. It feels like a loss, like a defeat, but heartbreak does not destroy you. It only destroys what was never meant to last. It strips away the facades, forcing you to confront the raw, unfiltered truth. And in that truth lies your power. When the flames die down, you realize that what remains is you, pure, authentic, and resilient. You are not the ashes. You are the phoenix rising from them. When the fire of loss rages, it burns away the masks you wore to fit into places you had outgrown. It exposes the foundations of your life, showing you which structures were built on love and which on fear. Heartbreak forces you to rebuild, but this time with intention. You start to plant seeds of self-love, water them with patience, and nurture them with boundaries. You cultivate a garden within yourself, where only those who bring light are allowed to walk. You learn that sometimes the only way to grow is to be scorched by reality. It shows no mercy, offering no shelter from the flames. You watch as the old version of yourself disintegrates, powerless to stop it. But in the quiet that follows, when the embers glow softly, you begin to understand the necessity of the burn. The soil of your soul, once crowded with the weeds of old wounds and outdated beliefs, is now fertile. You have space to plant new intentions, to build new dreams, to create a life that is not just a continuation of what was, but a bold step into what could be. Heartbreak is a harsh teacher, but its lessons are unforgettable. It shows you that not everything that feels like love is love. It teaches you the difference between comfort and growth, between settling and thriving. You learn that letting go is not a sign of weakness, but of wisdom. The beauty here is in the strength you gain, the kind that is not loud or boastful, but steady and unshakable. You become the kind of person who does not fear the fire, but embraces it, knowing that each burn is a chance to shed what no longer serves you. The process of regrowth after heartbreak is not quick. Just as a forest takes time to regenerate, so too does the heart. At first, the landscape of your life feels empty, the echoes of what was still haunting the edges of your mind. But as time passes, new life begins to appear. You find joy in small things, hope in quiet moments, love in unexpected places. You become more discerning, more intentional, more powerful. You understand that the fire did not take your essence. It only burned away what you were not. After a wildfire, nature does not recreate the same forest. It brings forth new species, fresh ecosystems, surprising colors. Heartbreak offers the same opportunity. You do not rebuild yourself into the same shape. You transform. You allow parts of yourself to evolve, to explore new paths, to embrace aspects of your identity that were previously overshadowed. You become a mosaic of experiences, each piece a testament to your survival, each scar a brushstroke on the canvas of your becoming. The villainous edge of heartbreak is in how it sharpens your instincts. You become wary of those who bring matches into your life, who play with sparks near your heart. You no longer tolerate those who would rather see you burn than shine. You build boundaries, not as walls to keep the world out, but as gates that only open for those who bring peace, growth, and authenticity. You learn to be the keeper of your own flame, to trust yourself with your own light, to ensure that the fire within you is always a source of warmth, not destruction. In the aftermath of heartbreak, you discover the beauty of solitude. Where once you sought validation from others, you now find it within yourself. You realize that your company is not only enough, but enriching. You become your own muse, your own savior, your own greatest love. The world becomes a place of possibility, not because it changed, but because you did. Heartbreak did not dim your light. It refined it, focused it, turned it into a beacon for those who are drawn to truth and authenticity. Heartbreak is the strike of a hammer against the fragile pottery of your soul. It shatters you, leaving sharp edges and jagged pieces scattered across the floor of your life. Each fragment is a reminder of what once was. Every shard, a memory. Every crack, a wound. But beneath the destruction lies a profound opportunity. The fractures caused by heartbreak are not merely breaks. They are openings. They allow light to seep into the deepest parts of you, illuminating shadows you had long ignored. It's through these cracks that healing begins, that reconstruction with purpose and intention takes root. The ancient Japanese art of kintsugi is not just about repair, but about transformation. When pottery breaks, it is mended with lacquer mixed with powdered gold, silver, or platinum. The process does not hide the breaks, but highlights them, turning scars into beauty, damage into art. Heartbreak offers the same alchemy. It allows you to take the pieces of yourself and reassemble them with intention. You do not simply return to what you were. You become something more. You fill your cracks with the gold of self-love, the silver of wisdom, the platinum of resilience. You become a masterpiece of survival, a mosaic of strength, each scar a vein of precious metal running through your spirit. When the heart breaks, it is not a clean break. It fractures into uneven pieces, each with its own sharpness its own story. The process of putting yourself back together is not a linear journey, but a delicate craft. You must handle each piece with care, recognizing that some parts no longer fit, that some edges need smoothing, that some gaps will remain. The beauty of this process is in its honesty. You do not force yourself into the shape of your former self. Instead, you create a new form, one that honors your experiences, your losses, and your growth. You become a living embodiment of kintsugi, a soul that wears its scars as decoration, that finds beauty in its brokenness. The light that enters through your cracks does more than illuminate. It transforms. It brings clarity, exposing the illusions you once held, the lies you once believed, the fears that kept you small. It shines on the darkest corners of your heart, showing you the wounds that need healing, the patterns that need breaking, the truths that need embracing. You begin to see yourself with new eyes, not as someone who was broken, but as someone who is breaking open. The light does not erase the darkness, but gives it contrast, creating depth, adding layers to your story. Reconstruction after heartbreak is not about returning to normal. It is about creating a new normal. You gather your pieces, select what is worth keeping, and discard what weighs you down. You fill the empty spaces with gold, new dreams, new boundaries, new standards. You learn to love the process of healing, to take pride in the work of art you are becoming. You do not hide your scars, but display them, knowing that those who see the beauty in your cracks are the ones worthy of your light. You become a beacon for those who are also rebuilding, an example of how to turn pain into purpose. The art of kintsugi teaches that brokenness is not the end, but a new beginning. Your heartbreak becomes a canvas, and you, the artist. Each choice you make is a brushstroke, each boundary a line of gold. You create a self that is not afraid of breaking again, because you know that every fracture is a chance to evolve. You become resilient, not because you are unbreakable, but because you are unafraid of the breaking. You wear your history with pride, your pain with grace, your survival with an unapologetic boldness that inspires others to do the same. Those who hurt you become part of your story, but not its conclusion. They are the chisels that shaped you, the heat that tempered you, the shadows that made your light more vivid. You do not seek revenge because you understand that their role in your life was not to destroy you, but to initiate your transformation. You reclaim your narrative, rewriting it with the ink of self-awareness, painting it with the colors of your rebirth. You shift from victim to creator, from shattered to sculpted, from lost to found. The light that enters through your cracks becomes a guiding force. It attracts those who recognize your worth, who appreciate the craftsmanship of your healing. You build connections based on truth, love based on respect, a life based on authenticity. The people who see the beauty in your fractures are those who understand that perfection is not the goal, wholeness is. You surround yourself with those who are also works of art in progress, who value depth over superficiality, who see strength in softness and courage in vulnerability. You become a living, breathing masterpiece, each scar a reminder of the fire you walked through, each golden seam a testament to your choice to heal. You do not return to who you were before the break. You emerge as someone entirely new. True beauty lies in the phoenix effect of heartbreak. When everything you held dear crumbles, when the fire of loss reduces your world to ash, there is a quiet moment where the embers glow, and within that glow is the promise of rebirth. Like the mythical phoenix, heartbreak is not an end, but a transformation. It demands a death, a letting go of the old, a release of what no longer serves you. It burns away the facade, the illusions, the dependencies, leaving you bare and vulnerable. But from this vulnerability rises strength. From this ash, new wings form, feathered with resilience and gilded with wisdom. The process of becoming the phoenix is not gentle. It is a tearing, a breaking, a descent into the fire. The pain is real, raw, and unrelenting. You feel every burn, every sear of betrayal, every sting of abandonment. The flames consume not just the relationship you lost, but also the parts of yourself that were bound to it. You watch as the person you once were disintegrates, powerless to save them. But beneath the agony is a quiet revolution. The phoenix does not fear the fire. It is born of it. You begin to understand that the fire is not there to destroy you, but to refine you, to transform you into something unbreakable. In the ashes, there is stillness. The world, once filled with noise and chaos, now feels empty, almost peaceful. This is the crucible of heartbreak, the place where the old you dies and the new you begins to form. It is here that you confront your truth. You see yourself without the distortion of another's influence, without the veil of shared dreams, without the chains of compromise. You find that beneath the ash lies a core untouched by the flames, a spark that refuses to die. This spark is your essence, your truth, your invincible soul. It is the first sign of the phoenix, the promise that you are not just surviving, but preparing to rise. As you begin to rise, the world feels different. The air tastes sharper, the light feels warmer, the colors seem more vivid. You start to piece yourself back together, but this time, with intention. You choose what to keep and what to discard. You shed old skin, outdated beliefs, limiting self-doubts. Each decision is a feather, each boundary a talon, each act of self-love a flame that fuels your ascent. You're not just rebuilding, you are reimagining. The phoenix does not return to its old form, but emerges as a new creature, wiser, stronger, more radiant than before. Those who hurt you watch from the shadows. They see the ashes and expect to find your remains, your defeat, your end. But heartbreak is not a funeral. It is a resurrection. You rise, and in your rising, you expose their miscalculation. They thought they could break you, but they only broke the chains that held you back. They thought they could dim your light, but the fire only made you brighter. The phoenix is not gentle. It is a force of nature. It rises with the power of everything that tried to destroy it, and it leaves nothing but awe in its wake. Rising from heartbreak gives you a perspective few possess. You understand the darkness because you have walked through it. You know the sting of betrayal, the ache of loneliness, the weight of silence. But instead of allowing these things to break you, you use them as fuel. The phoenix does not fear the ashes. It makes its nest there. You learn to find comfort in solitude, power in reflection, purpose in pain. You become a master of your own narrative, rewriting the story of your life with ink made of ashes and fire. The villainous beauty of the phoenix effect lies in its unpredictability. Those who hurt you expect a victim, a ghost, a shadow of who you once were. But instead, they find a creature of flame, a being reborn, not despite the pain, but because of it. They realize too late that they did not destroy you. They created a legend. You rise above them, your wings casting shadows over their small world. You become the embodiment of karma, not through revenge, but through victory. Your existence becomes the consequence they never expected, a living reminder that those who burn others often find themselves consumed by the same fire. As the phoenix, you do not return to the ashes. You soar above them. You learn to use the wind of change to your advantage, to let go of what weighs you down, to fly higher than ever before. You become a force of inspiration, a light in the dark, a beacon for those who are still walking through their own fires. You teach them that the fire is not the enemy, but the forge, that the pain is not the end, but the beginning, that true beauty lies not in being unscarred, but in being unafraid of the scars. And so, the beauty of heartbreak is not in the breaking, but in the rising. It is in the moment when you step from the ashes, your wings unfolding, your heart ablaze with purpose. You become the phoenix, a creature of myth, a symbol of rebirth, a testament to the power of transformation.